for the first time in a long time, Coach Dave Dempsey has the luxury. He starts what Matt Durgan, one of his unpaid assistants, I might add, talks about. He calls them his piglets, the line up front. We have a little bit of a luxury in that the five guys, the interior five linemen, do not play both ways. There's some of them that get a rest, and that's a big plus in a day like today where it could be close to 80 out there, and that could be a factor.
It definitely will be, John. You know, you get to that second half, and again, these kids are going to come at each other, and again, two undefeated clubs going at each other. And again, all the marbles are on the line right now, John. To this point in the season now, you've got other teams that are going to play in here. Of course, Marblehead has lost one. Gloucester has lost one. These are the two undefeated teams in Northeastern Conference. After this, of course, we got a ways to go.
Of course, I might say, too, the high-powered offense of these two football teams. Glasgow comes in, they're averaging 37 points a game, giving up only 7 points a game. Salem in the Northeastern Conference is averaging 27 points a game, and they're rather stingy on defense as well. And I think with the high-powered offense, both coaches are talking about ball control. They want to hold on to the football and not let the other team get the ball for any sustained drives and eat up a lot of clock. And you may see just good old-fashioned knock-em, sock-em, block tackle football, because they may want to try and hold on to the football. Although the big play advantage, I think, has to be in Glasgow's side of the field.
Absolutely, John. That's how I feel. However, I think Kenny Perone's teams, any team that Kenny Perone, his staff, brings onto this field is going to be well prepared. Like I said, one of the best prepared coaches in the state.
No question. Mike Silva will do the kicking off. It's going to be number 26 is Karam Gibson, straight down the middle. Line drive over his head, in and out of the end zone, and Mike Silva got it going early. He line drived it over everybody's head, and that's the first one we've seen this year, Vipco, in and out of the end zone.
I'll tell you, not much height on that thing, but boy, he got every single bit of weight he had in his body into that kick. Good start for Salem. Now Glasgow will take over in the 20. Like you said, Glasgow seems to be the big play offense. However, you know, we were here last week when Mr. Silva put on. Look at that kick go through the end zone. That's quite a thing for a high school kid. But again, as I mentioned, John, you know, we were here. We saw Mr. Silva put on quite a show.
No question. It's Clark to the near side, and Lex Thornton flanked out to the far side. Brown and Resendez are behind Echeverry. To give to Brown. Straight ahead, might have got a couple.
Testing the waters, John. Both clubs, I think, are going to do that. Nobody's going to come out, with all guns blasting this early in the game and this important of a game. They're going to see what Salem, they meaning Glasgow, is going to see what Salem's doing, test them, let the scouts in the stands talk to them on the field, and find out what's going to work.
You saw the replay. He gets stood up at the line of scrimmage. Now it's Joffrey Boyd coming to the near side. Clark is to the far side. Echeverry, the quarterback. Thornton, the slot back. Echeverry looking to throw the football. Lets it go downfield, looking for Clark. He's there, but he can't make the catch. Good defense by LeBlanc.
I'll tell you, a real good defense by LeBlanc. Of course, he's giving up probably 4 or 5 inches now, and he went up with the receiver, as you see it now on replay, John. Echeverry fakes to his right, goes back to his, see that, and he hits him almost immediately. The ball might have been just a hair too high.
Just a little overthrown. Clark certainly with an edge in that matchup with LeBlanc, but LeBlanc come out a winner on that one. Now it's Johnson flanked out the near side. Clark the tight end to the far side. Echeverry the quarterback. The give is to Resendez. Cuts it back, still on his feet, gets the first down out to the 35-yard line.
Good job there, a time off tackle with a lead play. Salem sitting in there 5-2. Again, if you can double down on that tackle and handle that defensive end, we see it right here. You watch the fullback go out and kick out the end, hopefully, and if you can double down, that's what Resendez did. He's kicked it back inside, picked up the first down.
And he's got that little knack of just sidestepping, and it seems like he glides through the line of scrimmage until he can turn on that burst of speed. Resendez in the slot now with Clark to the near side. Thornton is the deep man, and we got flags. And that's going to be against Glasgow. Somebody got a head start.
Yep. These are the things now, John. In an important game like this, the kids are nervous and whatnot, but these are the things that might make a difference in a game like this. 2 undefeated clubs coming in. All the marbles, first place in Northeastern Conference, go to the playoffs, standings in the state. These mistakes are going to happen, but the team I believe that makes the least amount of mistakes is going to have the better chance of winning.
Again, it's Clark to the near side with Resendez in the slot. Thornton is the deep man in the eye. The give is to Thornton off the left side. High steps it over the 30 to maybe the 31.
Good job. Good job defensively that time by Salem. What Classical's doing, they went an I slot that time. You see the replay. Good job. See that Salem sitting back there with those 5-2. Those two linebackers, those inside linebackers, got to cover sideline to sideline basically against run, John. And that's a tough job. They've got to be two good kids, two good football players in the middle of the field playing linebacker for Salem.
Thornton is the wide man to the far side. Resendez the deep man in the eye. The draw play to Resendez. He's got a block. Great block by Thornton out in front. And Thornton throws another one for him. 2 blocks in the same play. Resendez into Salem territory for a first down.
We saw that, that little delay draw, John. You get a kid like Resendez, what happens is you get the over pursuit. Watch Salem coming. Watch Salem coming. Now Resendez gets that hole. Great
block by Thornton.
Great block.
And there's another one by Thornton down. It just kept on going.
Again, they want this game today. Does Classical. So doesn't Salem, for that matter.
Joffrey Boyd to the near side. Clark to the far side. Thornton is the wingback. Resendez the deep man in the eye. Echeverria with the drop. Quick over the middle to Clark. Complete for another first down. Down to the 35-yard line.
Well, again, going now to Clark. Big, tall end that time. Clark was also a senior. But again, with the Salem, they got those inside. You see the replay right there. In that 5-2 defense that Salem's running, John, you've got no outside linebackers. You've got two linebackers on the inside, 5 men across the front, and usually that you have the defensive secondary. The defensive secondary is playing 7 to 8 yards off the line of scrimmage. And those quick looking passes.
They could be there all day. We saw the replay.
We're going to see the Resendez run, John, now on replay. Look at this. Here's that little delayed draw.
Watch 24 downfield, folks.
Right there. Great block.
And right there again, he's still up. So we mentioned coming in, this high-powered offense. Resendez, 787 yards, only 71 carries, averaging 10 yards a carry. Thornton has got 418 yards and only 43 carries. Resendez with 7 touchdowns, Thornton with 4. Echeverria has thrown for 7 touchdowns. Boyd has 16 catches. Clark has 12 catches. Boyd with 4 touchdowns. That's a lot for a defense to think about.
Oh, sure. They're multi-talented. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows Classical's coming in here. All the talent in the world.
1st and 10 at the Salem 35-yard line. Echeverria with the give to Thornton. Off the left side. Puts his head down, gets knocked out of bounds by a host of red shirts.
Good defense.
Mello was there.
You see, Giatti almost got the tackle that time in the backfield, made a stab at him, didn't get it, but he never was able to turn the corner. Consequently, no yardage. I guess they're giving him 1.5 yards right now.
So 2nd down, Mello was helped up by Raymond on the stop. Now it's Resendez as a wide receiver to the near side as we get a whistle.
Let's show it the stoppage is here. That might want to check the spot of the ball. You see
now they're
moving it up, yeah,
to the 33-yard line. So Resendez now out as a wide receiver on the play. Thornton is the deep man in the eye. The give to Arthur Brown. Quick hit inside the 30 to about the 29.
Little X play that time. Almost like a misdirection when you get the flow of the backfield going to the right. He comes back, takes a little stutter step, and goes back to his left.
This is when we talk about weapons. You try to key on Resendez, you try to key on Thornton or the receivers, and then they slip the fullback Brown into every once in a while. So they have it going on all cylinders so far. It's a tough job for the Salem defense, but they've been up to the task so far this year. This is Resendez off the right side.
Good job.
Good tackle. And that's Raymond.
Keith Raymond did a nice job that time, John. Shedding off his block. See it right here in the replay. Good job. Shedding off the block, making the tackle for very, very little gain. Now you got a 4th and about 2, John.
4th and 2, the first big down play of this big football game. Both teams coming in at 6-0. The big matchup everyone's been looking for in the Northeastern Conference before this huge crowd at Bertram Field. Big 4th down play. Joffrey Boyd in the backfield.
Second effort got that first down, John. I think they're going to give him second effort.
They're not going to give it to him, I don't think. They're going to give him the 25-yard line. He had to get across the 25.
Well, depending on where they mark the ball. The ball is right.
He didn't make it.
That's right, nothing. I thought he might have made it on second effort. Good job by the Salem defense. You know, John, the Salem offense hasn't touched the ball here in the game yet. This will be the first time the Salem offense will be looking on offense.
So they pull a switcheroo. All the running backs they have, they put Joffrey Boyd in the backfield, and he stretched out that big frame of his, but just came up about half a ball short from a first down, and Salem is going to take over. Joey Toops, the quarterback. Dakotas, Stellato, and Silver in the backfield. Dakotas in motion to the near side. The give is to Silva. Hit and knocked down. Good defensive play by Davy Clark.
Well, actually, I'll take that on first down, John. You can pick it up 4 yards at a clip there. 3 times 4 is 12. You see Silva. Not a bad hole there. Closed quickly. Classical closed it down quickly, but not a bad hole that time.
Arthur Brown was also in on the stop, along with Calvin Johnson. It's second down and 5 for the Witches. Everybody in tight. Dakotas now goes in motion to the near side. This is Toops with the keep. Stays on his feet, falls forward for a first down.
Nifty. Everybody knows that Joey Toops is a great runner. You know, he adds so much to that offense. So you have those big backs, and you have that breakaway back in Silver. Here we are right now. Option down the line of scrimmage. Joey Toops took a little bit of stutter step to the back, into his own backfield. Got him around the corner that time. Real heady, smart play.
Yeah, they got a big block. I didn't see the number, but they pushed Davy Clark to the outside and opened up that hole, so Toops could squeeze through and pick up the first down for the Witches. First and 10 from their own 36-yard line. Stellato, the deep man in the eye now. The give to Stellato. Not going to get much. The middle of that Classical line holding on.
They're working that up back, John, that power up back. And what they do is they just feed him into the hole. They probably double down on a tackle or a guard if Classical's in a 6, which they usually are. Here we see the double team there in the lead back. The lead back really didn't get the block that time.
Stephen Foster was there with the first hit, as was Robert Jones. Dakota's now in motion to the far side. Toops with the keep. They get a piece. They can't hold on to him. Arthur Brown makes the stop, or he was gone for a long way.
But you know, we got a situation here. If you look at Classical, it almost looks like a 64 defensive set. It's really a 6-2. Here we see the replay. Joey Toops down the line of scrimmage now. Up inside, again, he eludes people very, very well, does Joey Toops. But you look at that Classical defense now, John. You have one safety about 15 yards off the line of scrimmage, 13 to 15.
That's Simi Anderson, who helped Arthur Brown make the last stop. Third down and 5 for the Witches. Dakotas again in motion. Toops with the keep. The pitch in the backfield to Silva, not going to get there. James Resendez with the hit. And good penetration by Classical forced Toops to get rid of that ball a little bit too quick, and the play broke down in the backfield.
Again, we see it on replay here. One block he needed. I think it was Dakotas' block. Resendez did a great job now of shedding off that block, making the tackle. That'll force Salem now to punt.
So our first punt of the football game. And the story we've been talking about, Eric Lane, who is the young man who is deaf, has been deaf since birth, is back standing at about his 20-yard line looking for the punt. He's going to field it at about the 24-yard line, trying to get outside, hit and knocked down. Mello with a big defensive play.
8 Salem defenders down covering that punt. Great job. You know, that's tough to do. When you're a punt returner, you know, they say, I see it right here. The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. What happens? He tries to reverse his field right here, slips, and now you got all the pursuit going, and you give ground, and he actually lost about 10 yards on that one.
Give a lot of credit to Jeremy Potvin that time. He was the one that got away from the initial block and forced Eric Lane to move in the other direction and slow down so Mella could make the stop. So they have it at the 16-yard line, first and 10. Resendez hit by Silva, falls forward for a couple.
I think he got Salem pumped up here now. You know, again, they got Classical back inside their own 20. Salem pumped up. And they started to come. We see the replay right there, the lead. He had to kick the lead to the outside, and that's what happened. Couldn't cut back inside on that, John.
Good penetration by Salem, I think. You saw 50, who was Raymond, Keith Raymond, made good penetration and slowed the play down. 2nd down and 8. The give. This is Resendez. Not going to get anything, and that play was sort of in slow motion, but
Tell you, Salem's not letting the Classical backs get started. They're not letting them get up a full head of steam, and that's what's helping Salem out here. Certainly, you watch it right here. Little off tackle, tries to kick out. Now he cuts it back inside. He never had a full head of steam going.
Silva made the big defensive play for the Witches. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 7. And do you throw the ball here, Bip?
Well, yeah, you're down inside your 20. You could. They threw it earlier in the game, John. They're not going to be afraid to throw
to the
it.
near side. Thornton in the slot to the near side. Joffrey Boyd, the tight end, to the near side. Thornton now goes in motion.
Quick kick.
Resendez with the quick kick. Toops feels it at the 40-yard line and gets knocked down, but looked like Salem was anticipating a quick kick. Toops was back about 30 yards.
Great job. Great job. Saw the quick kick coming. We'll see the replay right here, John.
Almost blocked it.
Well, Resendez is about 12 yards deep. That's usually a key. You see, Toops didn't have much going for him there, but he was heads up and catching the football, not letting it roll around back there.
Dave Clark with the big hit. And the good field position goes to Salem as they have it at the Classical 38-yard line, 1st and 10. Still in the first period, no score. Stellato, the deep man in the eye. Toops looking to throw the football. He's got a man wide open. Still on his feet, finally knocked down after the first down. Is Chris Carroll.
Salem's got so many weapons. They've got Classical thinking run. All of a sudden, we see it right here. Watch the fake into the line right there. Freezes everybody in that Classical club. And then just a little pass. Little sprint type pass to the right side.
It's at the 20-yard line. And Classical has called timeout. So Salem off the quick kick, which was fielded by Joey Toops at the 40. They get position at the 38. They go right up top to Chris Carroll, and they pick up a first down at the 20-yard line. And unusual, Bip, just to give you an idea, they come into this football game. They've only completed 19 passes. They've only thrown 42. They only average 27.2 per, 29.1 yards passing per game, an average of only 3.5 completions per game. And it's just something they don't do very often. But we also saw them come out against Winthrop in a no-huddle offense and throw the ball 3 straight times. So you never know what Coach Kenny Perone's going to do.
Well, see, they don't have to throw. They've got people like Dakotas and Silver and Stellato and Toops that run the football. So why do I want to throw when I've got 4 people that are equally talented at getting the ball downfield?
That's true. The big difference here is they're trying to loosen up that front line of Classical. We told you they average 6'1", 225 across the front. And they've got to do something to loosen up a little bit to get maybe that inside stack eye game going. Now it's Stellato in the eye. Dakotas in motion to the near side. The give is to Stellato. Not much. Might have got the ball to the other side of the 20-yard line.
Possibly, John. They might give him. They might give him the 19. None of them going to give him that. They're going to give him just the 20. We see it in replay here. Had to kick it. Stellato had to kick it the outside. He didn't have anything inside the tackle, inside the end. Actually, tried to kick it to the outside. By the time he tried to do that, Classical pursuit was there.
Robert Jones made the big stop for the Rams as we're winding down. We're under 2 minutes to play here in the first period. No score. And Salem spreads them out. Dakotas to the near side. Puntvin in the slot. Joey Toops rolling back. He's got some room. He's going to run with the football. Taking off Simi Anderson with the good open field hit. And Joey only gets about 2 yards when he looked like he was going to get a lot more.
He did not see Dakotas. What happens is Toops was scrambling that time. Scrambled back to his left. He just simply did not see Dakotas. Dakotas was, wow, watch this, John. I'm not sure we're going to see Dakotas. Watch Toops sprint right. Look, nothing. Sprint back left. Dakotas' man leaves him. Dakotas is beyond, and he's wide open at about the 10-yard line. Wide open.
I think by the time Dakotas came free, Joey Toops was running for his life because 2 or 3 guys got a piece of him in the backfield. But Simi Anderson made a big defensive play They actually get the ball at the 19-yard line, so let me pick up a yard, and they really spread them out now.
Double
Joey Toops rolling. Throwing it to Silver over the middle. He's wide open.
Nice tackle.
Resendez with the stop.
Nice tackle.
But it's a big first down for the Witches.
What Salem did that time, they went a wide double slot right. They just spread everything out across the field. Joey Toops just came back. Watch the replay here, John. Watch Toops sprint to his right. My goodness.
Wide open.
Silver was wide open in the middle of that seam. First and goal, John, from the 5-yard line. Salem's moving the ball quite impressively here.
Now they go to this stack eye. Stellato is the deep man. Everybody else is in tight. The gift to punt man off the left side. Picks up a couple.
It's all right, John. You give me 2 or 3 a clip down here, and I'm going to score a touchdown. Straight ahead, they're at the 2-yard line, John. They're going to give him maybe the 3.
The ball is just outside the 2-yard line. They need about 2.5 yards as they bring Silver. He's their leading scorer. He's got 10 touchdowns on the year, and they'd like to see him get 11 here. It's Silver. Stood up. Wigfall with the big hit. They turn him aside.
Great job by Wigfall. Not only did he shed the blocker, but he made the tackle. He stood him up right at the 2-yard line, John, or 3-yard line. See a Salem player that's down there.
The scoreboard clock says time has run out, but we got an injury in the field. A man down, so we're not sure if it's the end of the first period or not. But this all started with the quick kick.
I think it is, John.
And they now say the class is going to the sidelines and Salem's coming back. So evidently that was the last play as Silver got to the 1-yard line. So at the end of one period, no score, but Salem knocking on the door at the 1-yard line. We'll be right back.
This is Councilor at Large Jack Nutting. I am pleased to have been a part of the revitalization of Bertram Field, including new stands, new restrooms, the refurbished field house, and the additional parking on Salem Hospital's property. I will continue my lobbying efforts for a first-class track facility until that goal is achieved. Please support my candidacy on November 5th. I respectfully ask for one of your 4 votes for Councilor at Large. Thank you.
John Hoffman and Bippy Emanuel back with you at Bertram Field. They helped Mike Silver off the field. It didn't look good with his either ankle or a knee. We hope he's going to be okay, but that would be a devastating loss to Salem, not just offensively, but defensively as well. Salem with a chance to get on the board. They have it 3rd down at the 1-yard line of Glasgow. Toops the quarterback. Puntman is the deep man. Toops with the key pitches to Puntman, trying to get outside, not going to get there. Big defensive play by James Resendez, helped out by Arthur Brown.
Too much speed in the outside corner that time from Classical. Puntman possibly should have just tried to tough it out, make his cut back to the inside, and try to bull his way over for the touchdown.
And
we watch it right here, John. See, he almost thought he was going to break it up inside, but this Classical just has too much speed in those corners to get around.
Well, that Joffrey Boyd made a big play. I think Toops wanted to hold that ball a little bit longer, but Joffrey Boyd broke in, as you saw in the replay. That was 83, who had a piece of Toops, and he had to get a little bit quicker than he wanted to get rid of it, and hence he didn't put that much pressure on the defense to decide who am I going to go for. Resendez just went for the ball carrier Puntman and made the play for the loss. Back to the 4-yard line. Salem has talked about it with Kenny Pearl on the sidelines. 4th down. Now it's back from the 4-yard line. In the air, Bip?
Well, they're going to go for it, obviously. They're not going to kick a field goal here, as we see no field goal kicker out there. Possibly a play action. Remember, last time they spread the field wide, they had a double slot, and they hit Silver, who's now out hurt, but they hit Silver right out in the middle. We see Silver being
worked on.
to. That ankle did not look good.
And you're looking up around the knee area, too. So, he's a tough kid. If there's any way for him to be back, he's going to be back, but you certainly don't want to risk the young man's career either. 4th down play, big game, the first big play for Salem.
Play action. He's got him throw it now.
Wide open in the end zone.
There it is.
Carroll wide open in the end zone.
that second. You see the huge crowd. Here we go.
Here's Carroll, 89, right in your screen. He's the man that's going to catch the ball.
There's the play action. Freezes. Right now, hit him. Right now. There it is.
Well, everyone will probably say, geez, wide open. Where are the defensive backs? But Toops puts a lot of pressure on these people because when he comes outside, they've got to think, we got to worry about him as well. With other quarterbacks, you say, we'll drop back and protect against the pass, but you've got to protect against the run with Joey Toops.
Good point. And all the others.
Zebin Zagorowski to attempt the point after.
It's good.
Kicks it high. It's good. Zebinu was good. Double Z had his hands up before the ball was through. Billy Kapoor tells us that's his second touchdown pass. The other one's coming against Danvers. So they use the weapon that they don't use very often, but
John, we're going to see this touchdown one more time here. We're going to see the play action. Like you said, Toops now just sprints back, now curls it a little bit to the right. He had two people actually wide open in the end zone.
Yeah, Dakotas was the other one.
Absolutely. You pick your first receiver. Your number one receiver is the closest receiver to you.
And for those of you at home that might be saying, is this a good crowd on the classical side, too? A lot of people at this football stadium. This is a big one. It's almost like a Thanksgiving Day crowd. And we mentioned before, it's almost 80 degrees out. A really blistering afternoon to play football. It's more like baseball weather. But for those of you at home are thinking the team on top might win the football game, you got to go back to classical playing against Beverly, where they fell behind 12-0 in the first period and came roaring back. And in the past 5 games, the second period has been Classical's period, as we see Mike Silver. Looks like he's in pain, a little bit of pain.
He's in pain. I'm telling you, he's not. That ankle's hurting him. That ankle's hurting him.
So we have Silver would normally be kicking off. And I think this is Ed Sutton, who is going to be taking his kicking chores. Line drives it. It's going to dribble down.
You got a break
Picked
there.
up by Thornton at about the 13-yard line. Looking to get upfield. Hit shy of the 20-yard line.
Great pursuit. Great pursuit that time, John. Let me tell you. And someone's banging on that. You see the kick right here. Gets that roll. Gets that old Salem roll going. That old witch's roll. It is Halloween here. This week, I'll tell you. What a job.
A host of red shirts. They stuff them inside the 20 at the 19-yard line, where Classical will have to put in play. Echeverria brings them out. Thornton, the deep man in the eye. Echeverria going to pull it up. He had Joffrey Boyd wide open. He hits Arthur Brown, who gets out to about the 26, but Joffrey Boyd was downfield 10 yards behind everybody.
Had two people open that time, and they got caught in between the zones. In between. What's this, John? Just a little sprint to the left.
So he pick up 7, it'll be second and about 3. And I'm sure if Coach Dempsey showed a replay, he'd tell Arthur Brown, put that ball away a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's James Resendez, the deep man in the eye behind Arthur Brown. The give to Resendez. Trying to get outside, hit and knocked down.
Huge play.
And Chris Carroll, who caught the touchdown pass, makes the big defensive play.
Oh, I'll tell you right there, Carroll. What a defensive play that time by Carroll. Watch the replay here. We see it. Caveria hands the ball off. Look at Carroll shed the blocker. Do a great job.
So the touchdown has picked up the tempo for Salem, at least for the time being.
Salem will loosen up here a little bit, John.
Joffrey Boyd to the near side, Clark to the far side. 3rd down and 9 for the Rams. Echeverria. We got flags all over the place.
It's going to put even more pressure on Classical now. Usually that's it.
Usually when they stop the play,
usually
it's against the offense.
That's right. Procedure. From Salem, I'll take that anytime. I'll tell you why, John, because now that puts him down the 15-yard line, and that's going to give him, 16 yards to go for first, or 14 actually. But more important, John, if they have to kick the football, Salem's going to get the football in great field position again.
So it's Calvin Johnson to the near side. Joffrey Boyd, the tight end, to the far side. Echeverria. The give to Resendez. Breaks a tackle. Stays on his feet. Breaks another tackle. Falls to about the 21. Far short of the first down.
Good pursuit that time by all the Salem line-in linebackers. Now we're in a 4th down situation. Classical's going to have to kick. There we got a replay. Nothing inside. Tries to kick it to the outside. Resendez in good pursuit coming back.
Now Sutton caught him from behind. That was 85. Sutton.
Now Salem's going to get the ball probably in classical territory.
With Joffrey Boyd to kick. Joey Toops, the lone man, back. The snap is high. Boyd handles it. Gets off a good kick. It's going to bounce. And Salem's not going to be able to run it back. So it's a break for Classical as the ball is out of bounds at about the the Salem 44-yard line.
They're going to get to 44 because of the bounce that time. Joey Toops didn't have the opportunity to catch the football in the air. It was kind of a floater type of thing with the wind, by the way, John. The wind is going from our right to our left, as I saw before the game
Excellent
started.
job by Joffrey Boyd. $35 yards altogether on the punt. The line of scrimmage was the 21. They're at the 44. Stellato goes in motion. The pitch to Potvin. Jumps over one, but then runs into a couple more. Clark was one of them. Arthur Brown was another one. Dave Clement was another one.
You know, you mentioned Salem, as you see the replay right here with Potvin, taking a little quick pitch with everything going left. We mentioned, your Silver and Jacotis and Toops and whatnot. Potvin's been a pretty decent runner this year himself for Salem. Now he's going to be seeing a lot more action with Silver out.
2nd down and 9 as they go into the eye. Stellato, the deep man. Toops almost gets hit.
Oh, he's there.
Wide open again is Carroll. Calvin Johnson makes the play short of the first down.
See, sometimes a good play, nice
Give
play.
Give Toops a lot of credit in the play. He was hit almost as he took the snap.
But you grab Mr. Carroll at practice Monday and say, son, you tuck the ball and you run down the field. Never mind the jukes and this and that and the other. You run down the field. We got a timeout going here, John. Here's the replay right there. Up, don't stop. Up, straight down the field.
Good open field tackle by Calvin Johnson. And now it's going to be 3rd down and a long 2 as Classical is taking time out to talk about. You get a good shot of Joey Toops. And not the biggest guy in the field, but certainly a main cog in Salem's offense and defense.
And all sorts of talent there. Every team has its key people in key positions. You see Joey Toops playing quarterback. You see Joey Toops returning punts, returning kickoffs. You have key people you put in key situations that holds the club together.
So every big game has its big plays. Classical had one where they missed on a first down early on the initial drive. Salem had one 4th and 4, fourth goal from the 4, and they converted for a touchdown. Now they have another one, 3rd and a long 2, to try and keep the drive alive and keep the ball out of the hands of the Classical Rams offense. 7:08 showing on the scoreboard clock, 7-0 Salem here in the 2nd period. Dakotas is the deep man in the eye. The give to Potvin. He bounces forward. He's short, but going to be awful close, Bip.
He's shy about a half a yard, I think, John. Potvin got hit, spun around on the hit, and it's, oh boy, John, it looks to me like he's just a half a yard short.
4th down and about a yard. And decision time for the Witches.
Everybody's saying that Kenny Perone to go for it. I have to.
They're going to take a timeout and talk about it. It's very important. You see a lot. These teams haven't called us many timeouts all year, but a lot of strategy going on from the both sidelines. And the big game, you get these opportunities. You don't want them to go by the boards.
That's right.
But it's awful tough. We talked about field position. If you don't get it here, you give Classical awful good field position.
True.
But then again, if you say to yourself, if we can't make a half a yard or a yard, we're in trouble.
And again, it's not even a yard, John. And we look at the crowd here. What a great football crowd for Saturday afternoon here in the North Shore. I'll tell you, to see 7,000 or 8,000 people in the stands really does my heart good. Bringing football back here to the North
We're used
Shore.
to seeing them on the Salem side because they support their football team really well, win, lose, or draw. But it's a credit to all these Lynn people who are coming over, a lot of classical people. The stands on the other side,
and that's the Lynn side we're looking at now,
are loaded as well, as you see the cameras panning over the stands, and they love their football. And this is a big game, and right now a big play. Are they going to go for it? Or are they going to try and draw him offside?
No, going to go for it.
Toops with the pitch to Dakotas.
Got it.
Steps up, breaks a tackle, almost broken for a touchdown.
We saw that happen, boy, a couple of weeks ago, John. With Silva, spun out of there and got up and went for a touchdown. Good call. Power sweep coming this side, coming towards us, and all sorts of people. Look at the people. People are still coming in. Here we see a replay right here. Great job. Joey Toops is out in front there, too. Getting his nose dirty a little bit. Now
First and 10 for the Witches at the 36-yard line of the Rams. Again, the pitch to Dakota. Student body right. Dakota loses the football. In the pileup, we're going to find out who's going to come out with the football.
That's going to be close.
Salem has the football. They bite the bullet. That ball bounced up in the air, and nobody was looking at it for a couple of seconds. They finally realized it was loose, but Salem gets 5 yards on the play.
Everybody saw it that time. Got popped up, went up. You see it right here.
The ball. You saw it go up in the air.
I'm not sure who got that ball, who got that recovery. Do know that Dakota's.
So they mark the ball down at the 31-yard line. A pickup of 5, and Salem gets a big break. Stellato was the deep man in the eye. Dakotas in motion to the far side. Toops rolling, looking to throw the screen pass. Almost picked off by Clark. Potvin makes the catch and gets back to the line of scrimmage. Clark, I think, went up too soon, or he would have had that one.
Well, I'll tell you, a great defensive job that time. You got Clark. You got Clark smelling out that screen. Well, here we're going to see it again. Toops looking left like he's going to screen left. Turning back, screening right. Oh, my goodness, Clark almost got a finger on that. Good job
by Potvin to keep concentration, pick up the football. He got back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down and 5 as Stellato goes in motion. Toops with the keep. Looking to get outside. Knocked out of bounds at the 31-yard line. It'll be 4th and 5.
Almost looked like a broken play. Joey Toops, when he rolled out of the pocket, when he rolled out of the underneath the center that time, looked almost like right here. Almost looked like he wanted to do something else. He stopped there, then he tucked the ball, and almost looked like a broken play to me.
Yeah, Calvin Johnson was the man who got a piece of knocked him out of bounds. It'll be a 4th down, and we've seen Salem before try to draw teams offside with a little Dallas Cowboy action in the line and movement and stuff. If they could move him here, it would be a 1st down. So Classical's going to be leery of that. Dakotas and Potvin go to the far side. Toops dropping back to throw the football. Under pressure. Not going to get away. He's going to get knocked down back to the 40-yard line. Robert Jones was there. David Clement was there. Joffrey Boyd was there. But it was Clement who made the first hit. And Classical will have it in good field position at their own 40.
Good field position, good pursuit that time. Joey Toops, as we watch it here, has no place to go. Good coverage downfield. And good coverage by the Classical defensive front.
And it was Derek Lane, 53, who caused Toops to step away.
Now we've got a Salem timeout. They're missing.
Well, they only have 10 players. That's why they had to call timeout.
Yep.
They were missing a player, so that's tough.
Well, sometimes when a player gets hurt, John, as I mentioned before, sometimes when a player gets hurt, their backup player doesn't think that he's supposed to be in there, and with Joey Silver out, maybe that's Joey Silver's spot.
Mike Silver,
I'm sorry, Joey Silver. I'm thinking Joey Toops. I'll get it before the game's over, John, don't worry.
But Derek Lane, that time, we didn't mention him. He was the one that broke in on top of Toops and made him put the ball away and not throw the football. He had a receiver open downfield. And sometimes we see the secondary doing the job. Other times it's the rush. That time it was Derek Lane with the rush.
No seats, so they go in the rocks there, John. Look at that.
Did they pay to get in here?
Look at that one.
It is a cherry picker.
That cherry picker, goodness.
Press chassis up in the air, giving you a bird's eye view from right and back of the goalpost to the left, as you see Kenny Perrone. That view you're getting right there is our cherry picker. We pull all the stops for the big games. Dave McCarthy, producer at his finest. Echeverria looking to throw on first down. Under pressure, can't get the ball away.
Potvin seeing double duty big time here. Playing a lot of offense and playing some real good defense. Caught a break that time.
Well, Salem guessed right. They went after the quarterback.
Sure did. You see the replay that time right there. Echeverria looked downfield. There was nothing. Potvin's right on top of him.
Potvin did a great job to get away from the block, step over the protection for Echeverria, and get to the quarterback and make the defensive play.
He's looking for Boyd. Boyd was open early, but not late.
They lose 11 on the play. It's going to be second down and 21. Clark and Resendez to the far side. Joffrey Boyd is going to be the tight end to the far side. And now with everybody moving around, Echeverria says, timeout, I want to make sure we know what we're doing.
Confused, and now, he'll go over. Echeverria will talk with Dave Dempsey. Kind of straight. You see Dave Dempsey right there with the headphones, just taking them off now. He's going to talk with Echeverria and probably say, why did you call a timeout? And Echeverria is going to tell him, we see him right now, walking over and talking to him. We had a little confused.
We had bodies scattered all over the place, Coach. We had nobody. I wasn't sure that everybody knew what the play was. That's probably what he's telling Dave Dempsey right now. Just as we mentioned before, just blue skies, a gorgeous day. I can't see a cloud almost anywhere, and the sun is out. As we mentioned, the only detriment to this kind of weather, it might be a little too hot and take a toll later in the football game. It's got to be in the high 70s, but Salem took advantage of a short, quick kick, went in for the lone score. They're on top 7-0, and Classical has it second down and 21 from their own 29-yard line. Boyd, the tight end, to the near side. Clark and Resendez now goes in motion. Resendez with the handoff.
Great.
Potvin with the stop, and they lose yardage again.
I think, John, telegraphed just a little bit too much. Bringing the ball up in the air, and we saw Resendez coming back, and that was telegraphed just to here. We see it right now. Watch Echeverria bring the ball up in the air and let the ball out there, and everybody and his brother knew what was going on there.
They're also about 8 yards deep in the backfield.
Yeah.
So, but great penetration. Again, it was Potvin making the big play, and now it's going to be 3rd and 30. They're going to get to midfield. This drive started at their own 40 after a big defensive play on Joey Toops. Turned the ball over on 4th down, and now Classical has gone backwards. Echeverria fakes, dumps the ball down, picked off by Miller.
Guess who, John?
Miller with a great defensive play.
Mike Miller. Have we seen that before, John? You could see it coming. What happened was Echeverria took a little bit too much off, and here we go with rolling left and throwing, trying to throw, going the way you don't want to go. We see Miller right there in the replay. I'm sorry, the replay. Here's the replay right here. Watch Echeverria now. Rolling to his left. He has to square, and he just takes a little bit too much off. What a great reception that was.
Not only that, but it's a great play to stay in bounds as well. Yep. A great athletic play by Mike Miller. And he's got at least one every game for Salem. He keeps his streak alive. And almost got what would have been, I think, his 3rd touchdown. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. Salem with a big break here. Trouble in the backfield.
Good job that
David
time. Clement got his hand on Joey Toops' shirt and wouldn't let go. Joey Toops was running all the way there.
They lose a yard to the 16 thanks to the Clement play right there. You see him, he got a piece of the shirt and wouldn't let go.
Absolutely.
And he got some help from his friends. So it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 11. And the Classical defense called on here to shut the witches down. 2:28 showing on the scoreboard clock to play in the first half. Toops with the keep.
Oh, he's there. Oh, he's wide open.
Down. Wide open is Bisegna.
You know,
Shelly Bisegna.
John, Salem has done a great job with the play-action passes today. They're freezing and they're getting one-on-one coverage out in the flats, and they're just doing a great. Watch this right here. Freezes the linebackers. Boom, one-on-one coverage outside, wide open.
They're going to have a measurement to see if he made the first down. He's that close. And you see them stretching the chain out. Looks like he's going to be short by about 2 footballs. Football and a half.
Football and a half, maybe. I was going to say that, John, just to mess you up, but you knew I was going to say that. Good job. But like
2 downs here. Good job by a camera crew to give you that picture as well.
I think you go for the first down right now. An important game like this, you go for it, get the first down, take the 4 downs to put the ball in. That way you take the pressure off that 4th down and 1 or 4th down and 1/2 you had to go.
It's 2:05 showing on the scoreboard clock, and I'm sure with all the goings on, they would have talked to the guy in the booth and wind it down and make sure he's usually on the nose, but just to make sure he is. And I just saw the referee look up to him and say, "You're on the nose." So it's 2:05 left to play, 7-0 Salem, and a big 2 minutes right now for Classical. They don't want Salem to go in with a big high, 2 touchdowns ahead going into the second half. So a big defensive stand by the Rams is in order right here.
Here we go.
The stack guy they go to, Dakotas is the deep man. The pitch to Dakotas, looking to go the outside.
Good pursuit.
It's a host of tacklers, but he didn't need much, and he didn't get much, but he didn't need much either.
That's right. Good pursuit that time by Klaska, but he did get the first down.
The ball is at the 5-yard line, and we should have the 2-minute warning. And they're going to wind it down. So Salem has it at the 5-yard line with time running out here in the first half. 7-0, the Witches on top. Classical looking to shut them down. Putman in motion. Troops with the keep, rolling over the middle, throws it high in the air, picked off in the end zone by Classical. Davy Clark, who was a defensive end, and how did he get over that side of the field? Bippy's a defensive end on the other side of the field.
His coverage got him back there. I think at Joey Toops looked, he had a flat man open earlier. I'm not sure who that flat man was until I look at the replay, which is right here. Joey Toops, he was looking back to his left. That's what happened. He was looking for that trail man. Meanwhile, he had 89, which was Carroll.
A great defensive play by Davy Clark.
Well, good job by Classical. Dodged the bullet here.
So Classical takes over at their 20. The give to Thornton. Slides off a couple of people. Falls forward to maybe the 22.
Well, you got 1 minute and 15 left in the half. And I'm wondering now if Classical John is going to just go in. There's still very, very much in this ball game. Certainly, it's been a great game that people expected it to be.
Absolutely. They're only one play away from getting in the ball game, and they certainly have a lot of people who can make that one play.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't think Dave Dempsey would want to do anything to jeopardize that right now. And if they run the football, they're just as well maybe break a big one as if they throw the football.
Oh, they're going to throw it now.
Echeverria in trouble. Dumps it down. Intercepted by Salem.
Exactly what they did not want to do.
And that's Mike Miller again.
Exactly what they did not want to do. As you see the big Salem crowd here at Bertram Field. Oh boy, Dave Dempsey.
We got the officials talking. There's a flag. He might have gone over the line of scrimmage when he threw it. But I'm not sure. We'll wait to see what we're doing.
I don't think that makes any difference, John. Play still goes through.
Interference against Salem. That does make a difference.
Ooh. Okay. Classical gets the ball back now. Break for Classical.
But what a great defensive player Mike Miller has turned out to be.
He's where he's supposed to be all the time, John. Every time we've done a game at Salem, he's just where he's supposed to be. He puts himself in the right spot. And he's also a talented linebacker, too, which certainly helps.
But he's always where the football is.
Yep.
But a great play by him. I still can't go over the play by Davey Clark, though. The defensive end on the right side, he makes the interception in the left corner of the end zone. The classical left end we're talking about. Resendez to the near side. He's the only wide receiver. Echeverria with the give to Thornton. Breaks a couple of tackles. Now he's knocked down.
You got 34 seconds, almost 30 seconds now, John. I think Glasgow's going to take it into the locker room. Dave Dempsey's not going to take the chance of having something bad happen by putting the ball up in the air.
We're going to see the replay, and we're going to see Matt Florence make the tackle.
Florence, there you go. Good job right there. Glasgow's going to run the clock out here, John. We got 12 seconds left, first half.
This will be the last play of the first half. Echeverria dropping back. They're going to throw it.
The screen.
The screen pass to Arthur Brown. Cuts it back to the middle of the field. Gets out for a first down to the 40, but that should be the first half. That is the end of the first half. So Salem and the fans very appreciative on the Salem side. Salem with the strength of their passing. Joe Toops to Chris Carroll in the end zone, 4 yards. Take a 7-0 lead. We'll be back with the second half. Welcome back to Bertram Field as we're getting underway, almost underway with the second half. Salem on top 7-0. We're going to show you a couple of highlights. Not much highlight in the first half. Bippy, both teams suffering a little bit on the high-power offense. This is Joey Toops. After a quick kick by Classical, put the ball at the 38-yard line of Classical. This is Toops to Carroll, who got him down to the 20. They threw to Silva to get him down to the 1 after a loss. This is the touchdown pass from Toops to Carroll again in the end zone for the touchdown. Those are the only points of the first half. Salem threatening one more time. Dave Clark made a tremendous defensive play. Here he is, and he goes up in the air for a rebound, but he was the right defensive end for Classical. Wound up in a defensive backfield for Classical, making the interception. Just a great play.
Also a nice grab in that back of that end zone that time. Like you said, I think this football game has been everything that everybody has hoped it would be. 7-0 at halftime. 2 undefeated clubs, both coming in at 6-0. The only thing that could bear a little bit in this game is Silva being out. He did come back out in the field with his ankle strapped up, but I noticed he was real gimpy. You see Silva right there. He just looks real gimpy to me, John. I made the comment to you that I don't think he'll be able to go. And if he is able to go, John, it's certainly not going to be probably anything more than 60 seconds.
It's the right ankle. You can see him really favoring it.
He's really
he's grimacing. I think the pain, but also the pain of not being able to play in this big game, I think, is really hurting him almost as much as the pain in his ankle. But Salem, that's a very tough loss for Salem. He's an excellent defensive player. They've got people that they can put in the backfield that can run the football, but they've got very few people who can play linebacker like a Mike Silva, and that's going to hurt a little bit. And so far in this big heavyweight championship bout, we've had a knockdown. We haven't had a knockout yet. It's 7-0. Classical will be giving the ball up to Salem as they're going to kick off to start the second half. And the one drawback was, as we mentioned before, Bip, we talked about the first half, field position, giving them the field position to either team, and they would probably knock it home. And Classical was down deep, missed on a 4th down play, and then Salem came back after a quick kick. Was not very deep, and it gave Salem good field position. They took advantage. The high pop-up is fielded at about the 21-yard line, fallen on by LeBlanc, and that's where they're going to put the ball in play.
They get caught up in the wind that time, John. I was talking about that before the game started. I noticed there's quite a strong wind when that ball gets up in the air. Salem will have the wind in the 3rd period. So in other words, in terms of passing, they will have the wind.
The ball is at the 22-yard line of the Witches. They'll put it in play as we start the second half with the Salem Witches on top, 7-0. Toops the quarterback, the stack eye. Potvin is the deep man. The give is to Potvin. Stood up by Wigfall. almost at the line of scrimmage. Jones was in there as well, along with Lex Thornton.
Second man through. Salem comes out being conservative.
Clement was also there. So he give him a yard on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Again, everybody in tight for the Witches. Again, Podvan is the deep man in the stack eye. To give to Stellato. No, fakes the handoff to Stellato. This is Toops keeping. Falls forward. He faked me out, Pip. Out to the 27-yard line.
Nifty, you know, Joey Toops, he just moves so much. His lateral movement, he moves both ways when he's moving laterally. You never know when he's going to stop and cut it back inside. Like you watch it right here in the replay. Plants the feet, boom, cuts it back inside, stands up, spins out of another tackle, and makes another yard or 2.
Arthur Brown and James Resendez made the stop. A big play here. 3rd down and 5. Carroll goes way out to the far side. Dakotas goes in motion to the far side. Toops rolling that way. Looking to throw the ball. Under a lot of pressure. Lets it fly downfield.
It's going to be interference. That's going to be interference.
Dakotas, Anderson, they threw the flag. And I would think it would be interference. He was not playing the ball. He was just turning around, face guarding the receiver.
And I think it was a good call, John, because his left hand, if you watch it, was that Anderson over there?
Simi Anderson.
I think Anderson's left hand was on the back of the Salem receiver, and I think that's where the interference came in. Automatic 1st down. Here we go
break
right
for the Witches because they would have had to kick the football away.
Watch this. Toop rolls. Now he tries to get out of trouble. Rolls towards the sideline. Puts the ball in the air. See, we didn't quite see it, and I think it was because his hand was on his back.
It might have been an interception. I don't know whether Anderson was in bounds when he caught the ball or not, but if the worst scenario for Glasgow would have been Salem punting the football away.
Salem's got a timeout here, John. Joey Toops hurting? Joey Toops might be hurting there, John.
Yeah, they're walking over, and Joey Toops doesn't look like he's 100% right now. You see a shot of Joey, and of course it was the Glasgow game last year that Joey Toops got knocked out at the time. I think they were 4-1 or 4-1-1,
yep.
And they lost their next 4 ball games and wound up 4-5-1.
Ken Perone's looking for a backup quarterback.
He's a major part of this Salem football team, and he's being taken off the field. And we're going to have Zebin Zagorowski, I believe, is going to be the quarterback.
Yeah, I don't think Joey Toops knows where he is right now. I think he got popped. He's hurting. Zagorowski's taking a couple of snaps over here on the right. You see it right there on your screen.
So Zebin Zagorowski, who's one of the co-captains of the basketball team, is going to be pressed into service, and I'm sure the last place he thought would be taking snaps in the second half in the Glasgow game.
Trying to find Joey Toops down the hill. Here he is. Joey Toops I think he just got to clear the cobwebs a little bit, Joe.
I think so too. Zebin has been in the football game. He plays defense for Salem, so he's not coming in really cold. And they're going to have to put it up right away.
Wide open.
Throws the ball down. Wide open is Dakotas. Sidesteps. Anderson drags him down. And talk about coming in and making an impact.
And the pass was right on the money, John. Rolled to his left. And he threw a perfect spiral, a perfect pass. Took it going away. If we can see the replay right here, John. Watch Zagorowski now. Roll to his left and he'll plant those feet. Nice throw. Real nice throw.
Dakotas with that little stop and curl. He tried to sneak by. Anderson made the stop. But I'm sure the last thing Glasgow thought would be Zagorowski coming off the bench cold, putting the ball in the air the first play. 1st and 10 at the Glasgow 29-yard line. Hit in the backfield.
Oh, that could be penalty, John. That could be penalty.
Stephen Foster with a little exuberance, and the Salem fans didn't like it.
Frankly, go to this announcer, John. You know, it's unnecessary. It's totally unnecessary. It's not part of the ball game.
Well, he's aggressive, and he made the big play, and they were young kids, so I can't really fault him for it, Bip. As long as he didn't do anything like go after somebody or a late hit. Zagorowski Looking to throw it again, under pressure. Gets away, cuts it upfield. He's loose. Sidestep, falls forward for a first down. What a play by Zagorowski.
I tell you, Mr. Zagorowski's having himself quite a ball game here, coming in, stepping in for Joey Toops, who went down, and Joey Toops wants to go back in the ball game, John, down here on the sideline.
They may not let him back in after the couple of plays that Zagorowski's made.
As you see Zagorowski, now watch him duck inside now. Now he's got clear sailing. I thought maybe he should have continued down, but he had pursuit. Classical, again, that classical speed.
First down at the 17-yard line. 3 first downs in this. And I'm sure right now Classical's thinking about the pass interference that kept this drive alive.
That's right. That's right.
And the defense called upon again. Stellato was the deep man in the eye. Zagorowski again throwing the football. Dakotas is there. Tipped away. Great play by Echeverria, the quarterback, who's a defensive back.
Real good play by Echeverria. But he read it all the way, John. Echeverria read that thing all the way.
Zagorowski's coming out and Joey Toops is going back.
Good job. Zagorowski now looks like he's hurting a little bit. Did a great job while he was in it. We saw the replay. Echeverria knocking down that pass. Good defensive job.
Tremendous hand for Zagorowski, and why not? He did a great job getting him down this close. Now it's Toops back in the football game. 2nd and 10 from the 17-yard line. Toops with the keep. Running for his life, hit and knocked back at about the 28-yard line. Joffrey Boyd with a big defensive play.
Great pursuit by Joffrey Boyd. Boy, that speed came through then, John. There was no way, we see it right here, there was no way Joey Toops was getting to the outside. Look at Joffrey Boyd, just cut down the angle. Good job.
I hate to bring back a point that you've been hopping all year, but that's a right-handed quarterback rolling to the left.
To his left.
And he didn't even have a chance to throw the ball away.
That's right. That's right.
3rd down and about 20. Putman goes in motion. Toops setting up a screen, and it's a good thing it was incomplete because Clark was there again for another big defensive play. Snuffed it out, went right through 3 defenders. Looking for the receiver. It's incomplete.
And I mentioned before, when kids are where they should be, good things happen. Right then, Clark, smell it out. Watch this, where he should be. Stayed with the screen man right there. Clark almost, had that pass been thrown up a little bit, Clark might have had 6 points. Good job.
4th down and about 19. Classical defense trying to hold again. Putman in motion to the near side. Toops rolling out. Again under pressure. Jones trying to get a piece of his shirt and yanks him down. Big defensive play by Stephen Foster.
Well, you can't take that one away from Foster, I'll tell you. Got the hand on him, pursued, never gave up. And Joey Toops isn't slow either getting to that corner. And Foster's a big lineman. Watch this right here, John. Toops rolls to his right, says it's nothing, goes back, avoids Boyd. Foster, look at that job.
Great play by Stephen Foster, and Classical has decent field position at their own 33-yard line. And the Salem fans got a little ruffle at them. They wanted Zagorowski. This is Arthur Brown off the left side, bangs forward to the 40-yard line.
Oh, what a run by Brown. The end of that run, I'll tell you, Arthur Brown put a punishing on somebody in that defensive secondary for Salem. It was Potvin, I guess he put the...
2nd down and 3, you see the replay here.
Watch the helmet that Brown... Whoa!
That was head to head.
Potvin said, hello.
And Potvin, of course, is a state wrestling champion. 2nd down and a long 2 for the Rams. To give us to Thornton off the left side. We got flags in a play, and that could be holding.
You got holding.
He made the first down, but I don't know what the penalty is going to be for.
When you've got the flag thrown in the interior line like that early in the play, John, it's got to be holding. Has to be. Boy, was that a good guess, huh, John?
That's that old experience you have.
What kind of experience? Old, did you say?
They made the first down, and Bip, I hate to hop on it, but we talked earlier, we said two things, turnovers, actually three things, turnovers, penalties, and field position.
Yeah.
Outside of the first drive by Classical when they came up short on fourth down, they really haven't had good field position since then.
No, sir.
Salem took advantage of their one good field position, and the penalties have really put Classical in a bind.
Mistakes.
They mark it back to the 29-yard line.
That'll put the gray hairs on the coach. Right there's the coach, Dave Dempsey.
They mark it at the 31-yard line. So it's second down and 12 now for the Rams. Echeverria with the fake. Looking to throw it, lets it fly.
Good job.
Incomplete.
I'll tell you, it was a good job all around that time, John.
Echeverria did a good job getting the ball away.
Right. That's right, and that's what I want to point out. Echeverria did a great job getting the ball away that time. Good defensive job that time by Salem. Watch this, John.
Carroll is the man at the end of this you're going to see.
Echeverria, great job. Carroll, good job there.
But that was Ed Sutton who got inside and forced Echeverria to throw it a lot quicker than he wanted to. He wanted to go deeper downfield, I think. And he had no time at all because of Sutton. And now it's third down and 12. Calvin Johnson to the near side. Draw play to Thornton, not going anywhere. Chad Heidler made the big defensive play.
Heidler, Johnny on the spot right time. Didn't get fooled with the draw. Held his ground, did not get fooled by the draw. You see Heidler right there. Heidler, of course, who recovered a fumble in the end zone. Watch this. Watch Heidler play this draw. Didn't get fooled, shed the block, made the tackle. See Toops going back deep now.
So fourth down with Joey Toops going back deep. It's going to be James Resendez to kick the football. Resendez with a high kick, not too deep. It takes a Classical bounce and a little bit of a roll, and Classical gets a break. It's going to lie dead at about the 43-yard line of Salem.
But you mentioned, John, you just got through talking about field position. And again, the Classicals, their backs have been against the wall. Penalties have got them in trouble. Salem now has good field position now in their own 43-yard line.
Classical has not been able to sustain a drive bit because, like there, they made a first down, but the penalty pushes them back. Yep. And they've got second, third, and long, and they haven't been able to put two first downs together since the opening drive.
And what's happened, in a game like this, John, 7-0, one play, like you mentioned earlier, can turn it around. Just one play. Classical has the tools to do it, so doesn't Salem.
Classical's only got 5 first downs in a ball game. 3 of them coming on the first drive. We got a flag on the play, and that's going to cost Salem.
And I think that's Salem.
Salem's going to get pushed back.
I think that's Salem in a procedure call. It's going to push them back 5 yards.
But it's surprising, this high-powered offense, 3 first downs the first drive, 2 first downs since then, and basically it's been 3rd and 14, 3rd and 30, 3rd and 12. They just haven't been able to use all of their weapons because the down and distance have been against them.
That's right, absolutely. They just called Salem offside. Someone must have lined up offside, John.
No, they moved. The right side, I saw it just as he threw the flag. The right end on the right side took a little step forward. Stellato in motion. The pitch. This is Potvin. Oh, you can hear that up here.
Ooh. Yes, sir.
They are hitting.
Lex Thornton. Lex Thornton putting the helmet on the helmet.
It's at the 40-yard line, so it's going to be second down and 13 for the Witches. And they've been able to hold on to the football for a lot of minutes.
You're right, John.
And not give Classical that much time to put too much together. So it's worked so far for Salem. The pitch to Dakotas. Great play by Clark to strip away all the blocking.
Oh, got a penalty. I think the penalty that time is going to be an illegal block in the back. I believe what they're looking now at Raymond. And Raymond's putting his hand in the air. So what did I do?
They lose back to the 38-yard line.
And I'm not sure. Oh, clip.
Clipping.
They're calling
a clip
okay.
against Salem. You got to take it, right? It's a 15-yarder.
Well, they're saying no. Classical kids are saying no, I don't want it. I can't believe that.
Well, it would bring up a third and about 14.
Well,
or 15, but still, they're going to take it. They're going to take it. You're going to push them way back.
Sure. Now they're trying to spot the ball.
They're going to push them inside the 25, Bip, down to about the 23-yard line.
I think maybe the kids were saying no, and then they asked Dave Dempsey. He says, I'm taking this one.
And right now, this is probably the worst field position that Salem has had in the entire football game.
And breaks can be the difference in the ball game. You know, just one break here for Classical, and they have not had that many breaks in this game, John. One break can turn this thing around.
Second down and about a mile and a half. We got flags, and that's going to cost them too much time, I think.
No.
Well, somebody moved.
Somebody moved.
Yeah, somebody moved in the line.
See, now this is what you don't want to happen. When things start going bad, you get multiple penalties, as you mentioned, John. Now they're all the way back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
And this is very uncharacteristic of a Kenny Perone football team. They usually don't make these types of mistakes.
Not multiple mistakes and penalties like that, John. But
the second down and about 35-yard line. This started at their 43, and now they're back at their 18. So they need 35 yards on second down. Troops, and you might see a quick kick here.
Could be. Don't think so.
Troops dances away, gets hit, knocked down.
He picked up, what did he pick up? Maybe 5 on that? Somebody's hurt now for Classical.
Yeah, we have a player down. Robert Jones made the play.
Is that Thornton? Who's that? I'm not sure.
It is Lex Thornton.
This is Joey Toops now.
So there's a stoppage of play, and Bip, I know that some of the Salem fans are a little bit down, but while we have and we'll talk about it when I come back, because we got a stoppage in play, so we're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
We pledged our allegiance to it when we were young, and we studied its importance when we were in our teens. We sing its praises at every sporting event. We display it when we celebrate, lower it when we mourn, and honor our heroes with it when they've fallen. It stands for what we are and what we believe in. How we treat it says a lot about us.
Nourishing food, medicine, schooling. It takes so little to fill the life of a desperately poor child. Child Week sponsorship. 50 years of caring that works.
We're back at Bertram Field. John Hoffman with Pip Emanuel. And Classical would like to shut Salem down right here and get good field position. In fact, Classical's going to take a timeout and talk about it. But Bippy, getting back to this, I look and Joey Toops, the one thing that, of course, the Salem fans are upset that Zagorowski was hot. They wanted Zagorowski back in the football game. But Toops is your starting quarterback. The one thing I see, Bip, is that sometimes he gives up a little early on the pass. He goes back with an intended pass play and then turns into a running back when he thinks he has that much room. And he's 10 or 15 yards deep in the backfield, and he has to run maybe 20 yards to gain yardage.
And it's what you're comfortable with as a quarterback, too. Joey Toops is comfortable with the run, maybe not as comfortable with the pass. And you're right, John, but he's a good enough runner to get away with it most of the time. And again, the problem here is you've got speed against Joey Toops. I mean, big-time speed in this Classical club, and you've got pursuit to the ball, and Joey Toops hasn't been able to maneuver out of trouble when he scrambles.
I know, too, Bippy, that if they hold him here and get the ball back, Classical has only snapped the ball 16 times since the opening drive.
Wow.
And that's including punts and the interception by Meller.
Punting.
They punt on third down, and it's a big break. It's going to take a Salem bounce. That's a great play.
What a great kick this is.
Echeverria picks it up, trying to get it back. Back to about the 24-yard line.
I'll tell you, I'm surprised that time. Ken Perone totally surprised Classical. As we're looking at the Salem stands, wow, totally surprised Classical. Got Salem out of a hole and put Classical back in a hole.
Well, Classical right now has got to put something together. They can't wait too long There's only 3:17 left to play here in the third period. They trail 7-0. And the one touchdown coming when Classical attempted a quick kick and only got it out to their 38-yard line.
Right.
And Salem went in from there to score using 2 pass plays. Echeverry, the quarterback. The give is to Thornton off the left side. He's loose. Bangs forward for a first down across the 35.
See, that's what you were talking about. You know, just one play, one run by one of these speed merchants over here in Classical, and we've got a tie ball game, John. Or possibly Classical can go ahead if they go for 2. But it's that type of a game at 7-0, John, where one play in this ball game can turn it around. You see it right there, Thornton.
Well, it's time for the Piglets if Classical wants to get back in the game. The Lions got to take control of the line of scrimmage to let Resendez and Thornton and company do some running. This is Resendez. Hit and knocked down almost at the line of scrimmage. Might have fallen forward for a yard.
Who's that, Carroll? No, it wasn't. It was
Matt Lawrence.
I saw Mello in there.
And also Sutton.
Sutton also. There you go.
And Mello was there too at the bottom of the pile.
Absolutely.
2nd down and 9 for the Rams. The give to Thornton off the left side. He's loose. Bangs ahead for a first down to midfield and into Salem territory.
See, they're starting to break things now, John. Classical's starting to break things open a bit here. They're showing that speed. They're showing that quickness getting to the hole. And Salem's got to be very careful. Extremely. Watch this replay right now. Watch this replay. Thornton, see how quick he was to the hole, John.
Yeah, LeBlanc made the hit down around the ankles. He was one step away from going all the way.
6th PA of the season. He scored a 1-yard run. 24-14.
This is Arthur Brown. Stood up at the line of scrimmage. Falls forward. Might have got back to the line of scrimmage, but not more than that.
Salem changed up that time. Right when Classical came out to the line of scrimmage, Salem changed up. It looked to me like a 6-man line they went to from their 4. And I couldn't see it. They're right in front of me. But I think they confused Classical a little bit that time, and Classical played right into their hands.
2nd down and 10 for the Witches. Clark comes to the near side. Thornton is the man in the slot. Resendez the deep man. Echeverria looking to throw the football. Out to Resendez. Gets a block from Clark. Steps by one man. Good job by Resendez. Still loose down the sidelines. Looking to go in. Inside the 20, finally knocked down. Great play by Resendez. And a big block by Clark.
Absolutely, John. You know, they isolated Resendez over here. They had Salem thinking the ball was going to the left side. They just floated Resendez out here. It wasn't really a screen. It was almost like an isolation with a single blocker screen. Watch this, John. Watch him look left, look off the play, throw it back to Resendez. One blocker out front, which was his.
Look at that little fake.
Oh, what a move!
Great athletic ability down the sidelines.
What a move! That's what we've been talking about, John. That's what Salem has to be careful of.
And the Salem fans again are clapping, not because Classical got a first down, but because Mike Giotti just scored a touchdown for Harvard, as Larry McIntyre just announced. With the timeout, Classical trying to get back in the football game. They trail 7-0. And they finally put a little bit of a drive here. Since their opening possession, they have not been able to put anything together offensively. Penalties have hurt them. Field position has hurt them. Now they have a golden opportunity. They have it 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line of the Witches, with 1:12 showing on the scoreboard clock to play here in the third period. And 2 heavyweights, Bip, just going up against each other saying, we're going to take our best shot and see if you can stand up after we deliver it.
That's right. I must say that, you know, Resendez is, a lot of people get a little bit confused. His name is Resendez Ball. As
we're calling him, we've talked to Dave Dempsey about this, we call him Resendez because we want to make sure the scouts know that they were sent letters out and told to watch James Resendez. So any scouts get a hold of our tapes, we want them to know who James Resendez is.
Absolutely. That's
why we do that, folks, so we hope you'll bear with us. This is Thornton off the left side. Falls forward to maybe the 15.
Oh, we got a penalty here. And the penalty...
And that's going to be against Classical, and Dave Dempsey's got to go...
Oh, he will.
Really upset over that.
I'm not even sure what the call was. Was it a holding call?
There was a little reaction. Referee turned around and saw the Classical kid push the Salem kid.
Personal foul, okay.
And that's all he saw.
Oh, boy.
And it costs Classical dearly right now.
Boy. Not good, John. Not good right there. Really hurts Classical. This penalty's really going to hurt Classical.
That's a big penalty.
And that's a 15-yard penalty, John.
All the way back to the 30-yard line. It's going to be second down and 22. And what a tough blow for Coach Dempsey and the Rams. What a terrible time for that to come. Resendez and Clark. This is Thornton trying to step inside. Big defensive play by Tommy Giotti.
What a play, speaking of Giotti, what a play by Tommy Giotti. Actually blocked out of the play, John. Had presence of mind to make the tackle. Stick his big mitt up there and make the tackle. Watch this. Actually, he was blocked out of the play. Put his hand up, made the initial play, and then he had the pursuit coming in to help him out.
Miller and Heidler were there, but Tom Giotti made the big play. It's going to bring up a third down as Salem calls a timeout with 21 seconds showing on the clock.
Is Miller hurt?
Miller is coming off the field, and
he's hurt, I think.
It looks like he had lost his wind or something happened. He's in distress anyway, and they called a quick timeout.
Yeah, he's
to look at him.
Ken Perone's looking for somebody else here.
Yeah, they're going to have to make a substitution, I believe. I don't think it's going to be something that's going to keep Miller out of the football game, but
you know, the other thing is,
we talked about the heat that we see in Washington. That could very well be what it is. We said it was like 70, 75 out there, and all of a sudden you see him being watered down, and that could very well be what it is.
And you got to understand, John, that these guys are out there with pads on and helmets and everything else, and running up and down the field. You and I are here, maybe in short sleeves, and it's still warm up here. But that's when it takes its toll on you, John. The third and the fourth quarters is when it starts taking its toll. That's what the coaches call it. You got to suck it up. You got to get that extra water or that extra whatever you're drinking, the Gatorade or whatever, and you've got to continue, because this could be very, very detrimental to either team if they run out of gas in the fourth quarter.
So Classical looked like they had a golden opportunity. Echeverria to Resendez, a great play, 31 yards down to the 18-yard line. Thornton had made a couple to the 15-yard line. It would have been 2nd and 7, and instead a personal foul, a dead ball foul, pushes it back to the 30-yard line. They've lost a yard. It's now third down and about 22. Echeverria looking to throw the football.
Got him
right in the middle, wide open. Thornton falls forward inside the 15. He's going to be well short of the first down.
I'll tell you, just a little slant play, actually almost a little pick play.
About 17 there, 4th and 6.
As you saw Thornton, watch Thornton just go in. Just a little slant, short post, whatever you want to call it.
That's the last play of the third quarter. So the one touchdown posted by Salem has stood up through 3 quarters. It's 7-0 Salem with Classical on the move. We'll be right back.
This is Councilor at Large Jack Nutting. On Election Day, please consider me for one of your 4 votes for Councilor at Large. Thank you.
We're from Pack 121, and we want you to watch football.
As we start the fourth quarter at Bertram Field, it's Classical in possession, but a big play for the Rams. 4th down, they need 6 to keep the drive alive. They're at the 14-yard line of Salem. Clark to the near side, Joffrey Boyd to the far side. Resendez is the deep man in the eye. Thornton is the slot back. Echeverria looking to throw the football. Lobs it up for Joffrey Boyd in the end zone. Can't make the catch. Boyd did about a 360 trying to get there. He got a hand on it but couldn't come down with it. And Salem is going to take over.
Toops was right there. Boyd had a shot at it. Went up as high as he could. Toops giving away 2 or 3 inches there. Watch this. Watch it go to the end zone. Little fade to the back of the end zone. Not a bad pass, I'll tell you.
No, he lofted up where only Boyd could get it.
Boyd was a little bit off
And
balance.
couldn't come down with it. And Salem, right now, wants to. The idea in Kenny Perron's mind right now would be make 2 or 3 first downs and kick the ball away if we can't score. But get it out of here so we don't give Classical good field position. Classical would like to shut them down right here and get the ball back with good field position. So the brain trust on both sidelines working. To give to punt man. That's going to be face mask.
Absolutely, John. Saw that. I think it was one of those unintentional face mask type of thing. Going to give him 5 yards on that one.
Now, is it 5 or 15? I would be very surprised if it was 15.
I'm extremely surprised. It's got to be a 5-yarder. Yep. See Dave Dempsey over there. Dave stayed calm this ball game, John. You know, his club's played well today. They're in a 7-0 ball game. They're down 7-0. Dave's kept his composure very, very well.
Well, now it's 1st and 2 for the Witches. The stake says 1, but they didn't. I would think it would be 2.
Oh, look at him!
Joey 2 was open early. Rolling. Now he lets it go. We got a flag on the play, and Dave Dempsey doesn't like. That's a terrible call.
That's a bad call. If it's called against Classical,
that's going to be pass interference against Arthur Brown, and I didn't see any contact at all. The receiver was diving for the ball. Arthur Brown was diving for the ball. I didn't see any contact at all, but he's going to call it.
You sure it's not against Salem? I hope it's not against Classical. That was a bad call. That was a bad call.
No, it's against Classical because Dave Dempsey is beside himself. I'm not even sure the ball could have been caught.
Dave might take that flag and put it in his pocket or put it someplace else if he gets a little more mad. No, I can't see that,
Sure,
John.
he's not going to pick it up and say, thank you.
I can't see that, John.
Holding the calling.
Holding?
And I didn't see that at all.
Interesting. Well, what's the replay here, John? See if we can see it. See if we can see the hold. You see Tubes rolling to his left. In trouble. Now he's just little shuffle. Oh, my goodness.
I don't see that at all.
Wow.
I didn't see that at all.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Good thing they don't have one of those big screens here.
I don't think he did either because he was behind the play. He was looking through a red and a white shirt.
Tough call.
But it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. And this is Dakota's trying to get outside, hit hard and knock down. And that's Lex Thornton making the hit.
Guy Thornton's doing it all, I'll tell you, today. Thornton defensively is all over this ball field. And he's doing it offensively also. It's going to be a tired gentleman after this ball game's over.
That's a play we've seen Salem use many times and get good yardage with the blockers out in front. That time, with the speed of Classical, they came from behind to make the stop.
I've been doing it all day long, John. Been doing it all day long. Just too much speed and athletic ability in that Classical secondary.
They lost a half a yard on the play.
Officials' time.
Officials' timeout, and I'm not sure what it's for.
Let's see what they're talking about here. I'm not sure. Maybe the clock. Maybe they've got to change the clock. We see the
You're looking at the official coming downfield for some reason.
Moving the camera people back?
It may be he's going to tell the cop to move people off the sidelines. We've got a lot of young kids. We've got a lot of extracurricular people. But now, he's not coming to the Salem side. He's going over to the Classical side. And I'm not sure what for. Oh, unless they're thinking that somebody might have threatened the man in stripes.
Was that necessary?
After that call, I'm not sure. He may be going over to arrest Dave Dempsey for stealing his yellow flag.
Oh, it might be. Okay, someone might have said something. He's asking, which, if that's true, then Salem's finest right on the play over there.
We got a lot of fans down on the field on both sides, though, Bip, to be fair. And evidently somebody on one of the sides might have said something, and the officials heard it and went over, and they're getting the police to move it. Bip, I'm looking now. The ball is, we do this quite often, the ball is between the 31 and 32. The stake is right on the 32. So if this is an incomplete pass, they come down, they gain a half a yard.
Double slot left.
And we saw Classical miss a first down by
reverse.
less
Look at
than
this.
half a yard.
Oh, no.
Delano Double reverse, and he could have handed the ball to Joey Toops. He threw it in the dirt, incomplete.
I'll tell you, fake reverse that time. Stellato, the southpaw Stellato, had him there, just do it a little bit short. I thought it was reverse coming back this way.
Classical, if they handed the coast, would have been a big loss because Classical had it snuffed out.
Yep.
If he threw it to Toops, Toops had a lot of room to run the football.
Oops, Stellato just
You see a lot of open field.
Look at Joey Toops.
A lot of open field. And Bip, they put the ball back at the 32, as I just said, if it was an incomplete pass.
There you go.
So it's 3rd and 10, and Classical's got to shut him down here and get the ball back. They can't afford to let Salem run too much time off the clock. Putford in motion. To give to Dakotas. Hit in the backfield. Knocked back to about the 30-yard line, and Wigfall was in the backfield very quickly.
Yeah, Classical defensively did a great job. Statue of Liberty play. Makes it looks like a pass, comes back with a reverse.
Yeah, that play never got started. Wigfall did a nice job of getting penetration.
Well, as you see right here, still a Statue of Liberty. Classical can, even if Classical makes mistakes, John, they have so much speed and athletic ability, they can make up for mistakes, if you follow my point. And you know, even if they make a wrong move or make a step the wrong way, they can always recover.
James Resendez is back deep to field a punt from Joey Toops.
Definitely a return on this one.
Bounces, and they're going to let it bounce. Sutton hits it at the 44, and Classical has good field position.
Hey, Resendez was way back on that punt return. I mean,
if I go
like
back
60
to,
yards.
I remember a very big Salem Classical game, and it goes back to 1976 when Classical had their Super Bowl team. They actually won the Super Bowl that year, going 9-1. Their one loss was to Classical, to Salem, excuse me. Salem came in 1-2-1, and leading the game 12-7. They threw a little out pass, and Bob Grocky picked it off at the Classical 20, ran in for a touchdown, and upset Classical 12-7. They only lost that year.
Whoa, good
One
job.
gets knocked down. Keith Raymond made the play.
And Raymond got blocked right into the ball carrier that time, but had presence of mind to stick the big mid out there.
If you watch Arthur Brown, he was not really set. And he really didn't have a chance to throw a block at anybody.
Yeah.
They called it the movement by Brown in the backfield, but Salem refuses it.
Sure.
And again, it's 2nd down and 13.
Difficult.
And they haven't been able to get in those 2nd and 3s, 2nd and 1s where they can do almost anything. They've had their backs to it almost all day.
But Salem put that pressure on him right there.
So Joffrey Boyd goes wide to the far side. Thornton is in the slot. Echeverria dropping back, looking to throw. Bob's
Could be
down, looking for
intercepted.
clock.
Ooh,
Over everybody. LeBlanc was the closest man to the football.
Boy, Echeverria really let that one fly downfield.
He threw that about 35 yards in the air.
A nice spiral, nice tight spiral. You see Dave Dempsey. Here's a replay right here. And he's looking at Brown all the way. He just unloaded that one.
Dave Clark had no shot. LeBlanc, as we mentioned, was the
Clark,
nearest
I'm sorry.
man to the football. And it's going to bring up a 3rd and 13. And Classical really having trouble getting untracked on offense.
As they have had almost the whole game, John.
Clark is to the near side. Boyd to the far side. Echeverria fakes the pass. Looking downfield, lets
Watch
it
out for
fly
this one.
over everybody. Toops, the closest man to the football. It's incomplete.
You know, right now, with 8:13 left in this game, Classical doesn't have to panic here, John.
No, I agree.
I know they
I
had
agree,
12,
Dave.
13 yards to go, but they don't have to look downfield 30, 40 yards every time. Hey, they're in this ball game and only 7 points down. What that can cause, you see the replay there. Echeverria fakes to the right, looks back to the left, goes back to the right. When there's nothing there, but then again, he did have presence of mind to throw it over everybody's head.
So it'll be Classical kicking the football away again. James Resendez. Joey Toops is the deep man.
Whoa.
He handles the high lob and kicks it a mile high. Toops is going to field it at about the 25-yard line. He gets loose down the sidelines looking for a block. Knocked out of bounds.
Salem people want a penalty then.
Dave Clement tackled him. He didn't really hit him. He just laid on him as he got out of bounds.
Nothing malicious about that. He hit him right about on the sidelines, and he just carried it over out of bounds. But that wasn't an illegal hit. Not even close.
So Salem has good
right
field position right there.
Joey Troops.
There's the tackle, and he just slides. No, he didn't hit him.
Nope.
At the 44-yard line. First and 10 for the Witches. 8 minutes straight up to play in the football game. 7-0, the Witches on top. Troops with the keep. Looking downfield. Now he finds Dakotas over the middle. It's complete for a first down.
That's right.
And he had all day to throw the football.
Absolutely, and Dakota's found that little open area. And a little sit-down pass, which means you find the open area and you stay there. And Joey Troops did a good job of finding him that time. Almost overran where he was. Watch this now. Troops going to the right. Dakotas will get out there now. See Dakotas trailing the play. Now Dakotas just sits in that little area over there, the open area. Troops finds him for the first down.
It was almost like Klasko said, we've got you contained, you're not going place, we're just going to watch you. And it gave Joey Troops enough time to throw the football. Troops gets down to about the 36, maybe the 35.
You know, Troops is such a good runner. You mentioned earlier, maybe he doesn't wait long enough for the pass. We used to running, and he just picked up that time 7 yards. Joey Troops is such a good runner, almost as an extra halfback, a running back. You see it right there. Almost like an extra running back in that Salem back.
As soon as he saw the defense coming, he lowered his head and almost like sliding into head first into a base.
Smart.
Second down and 3 for the Witches. Stellato was the deep man in the eye. Troops with the keep, trying to get outside. Makes the first down as he's pushed out of bounds.
Well, Salem's got a nice little mini drive.
Calvin Johnson and Arthur Brown on the stop.
Got a nice little mini drive, of course, with Joey Troops with that one pass for the first down to Dakotas. And then the 2 runs by Troops. Salem picks up a first down. Now they're getting the crowd into the, you see the huge crowd here at Bertram Field. They're getting the crowd into the game. We see the replay now. This could be the first down run by Troops. Yep. Little keeper makes it to the sideline.
And the defense has got 2 jobs now. They have to shut him down, but they have to do it quickly so Klasko can get the ball back.
Well, it's the fourth quarter too, John.
6:40 left to play in the football game. Salem has the advantage, leading 7-0. Mix up in the backfield, and Troops is going to go down for a loss back to the 34.
Looked like Troops and Stellato, was it? Troops and Stellato ran into each other. You see both of them right there.
It looked like there was a lineman pulling from the other side. Could have been trying to lead the play. They all came together.
Pushed everybody back.
That might have been a 3-cushion billiard.
Yeah. But I was going to mention now, Klasko could be getting a little tired down here late in the game. They're bigger than Salem is. You got 6 minutes and 14 seconds.
6'1", 225 the average, and that's in this kind of weather. The heat, we saw it already have an effect on Mike Meller.
Yep.
And this is Joey Troops. You got a good show of Joey Troops talking to Kenny Perone.
And he's
Second
talking
down
to
and 12 when play resumes. And I don't think there's anybody in the stands, whether on the Salem side or the Klasko side, thought that there would be 1 touchdown scored in this game. And I don't think in the wildest imagination even Kenny Perone thought he would shut Klasko out.
Well, I'm not sure about that. I do know this. There was one of the coaches in the conference that said that one team would beat the other by 3 touchdowns, and I thought that was much too much. But I think it's everything that everybody thought it would be. Salem's playing smart. You've seen the Klasko talent a bit. Klasko's had their backs against the wall. Very, very poor field position. Penalties have gotten them in trouble. But you can see that the talent's there. And what I'm saying is at any second, any moment, this thing could bust wide open. And that's why Ken Perone and his staff want to put this one in and get that 2 touchdowns up.
Well, we saw Lex Thornton be a step away from a touchdown on a couple of occasions. And they're that close to getting back in the football game or taking the lead with a 2-point conversion. But each time they have good field position, like the last one, I'm sure Dave Dempsey is beside himself over that 15-yard personal foul that really cost them. This is Dakotas Runs into trouble in the
Great
backfield.
defensive job.
Arthur Brown made great penetration.
Great defensive job.
Lex Thornton, Calvin Johnson,
and Clark,
Derek Lane were all there.
What Clark did is he went in and he took on 2 of the Salem blockers that time. Watch this. Salem trying to turn the corner. It wasn't Clark, it was somebody else. I missed the number.
Never got started.
But that's right, the play never
got
developed.
started. So it's going to be 3rd down and about 14.
Double slot to the left again.
Toops rolling that way. Thornton after him, dumps the ball off, threw the ball away, threw it out of bounds.
Fine. Smart play by Joey Toops. Looked to me like he intended to do that also. That's a smart play. Why chance it? Why chance the interception? It's all right.
Thornton, Wigfall, and Clark put a lot of, not Clark, number 60 is Dave Clement, put a lot of pressure on Joey Toops. And 4th down now, and I would think he kicked the football here, Bip.
I would say so, but however, you can take a chance down this end of this field. You're at the 36-yard line. You might try to angle a kick to the outside, but I see nothing. Looks like Kenny's going to kick it. He's going to try to either hang this high or angle to the
Toops
corner.
is a long way back from the snap. Gets the kickoff, kicks it high, angles it away from Resendez. It takes a classical bounce, and they down it at about the 20-yard line.
So you wanted a little bit more out of that one, John. You really only gained like 15 yards on that whole change of possession there. All you gained is 15, but that was the right thing to do, I believe, at that time. Now Salem's got to toughen up. With 5:18 left in the ball game this time, John.
And we've talked about the fact that they're one play away each time, and they've almost broken it a couple of times, and they've done it so many times this year. They've had their backs to the wall, especially in the Beverly game, down 12-0. They exploded very quickly, and I'm sure Salem knows that as well. They're a big play ball club. Thornton to the near side. Echeverria, the quarterback. The give is to Resendez.
Picking up pretty good yardage that time, John. Picking up 5 or 6.
That was Arthur Brown, excuse me, Arthur Brown.
Picked up almost 6 yards that time.
Yeah.
5 anyways.
Gets out to the 24-yard line, so it's going to be 2nd down and 5. And as you mentioned before, no time to panic. They've got plenty of time.
Oh, all sorts of time.
Thornton is the deep man in the eye. The pitch is to Thornton, cuts it back inside, stays on his feet, dives out to the 30, maybe the 31 for a 1st down.
Yeah, got the 1st down then with his effort on the dive, John.
Raymond and Meller made the stop for the Witches.
Play right here. Thornton dive, that little extra dive right there got him the 1st down.
And that's just sheer speed. He just saw a hole, cut it up inside, turned the burners on, and made 7 yards on the play. This is Resendez trying to get outside. Gets outside, stays on his feet, almost makes a 1st down out to the 40-yard line.
Took out a coach and everything on that one. Way back in the beginning of the ball game, I said if you don't allow Resendez or any of those, Thornton or any of those to hit the corner, here we see Resendez right here. Salem allowed him to turn it up. See, now he turns it up. Now he can pick up 7 or 8 yards. He picked up 9 on that one.
2nd down and just about a yard. Classical trying to get back in it. They trail 7-0. This is Resendez again. Into the secondary. Gets piled up just shy of the 45-yard line. Picks up the 1st down.
He's got the 1st down, and that's all that Dave Dempsey and his staff wanted there. Classical now is putting something together. They cannot let penalties hurt them here. Penalties or mistakes are very, very important. You know,
there's a flag on the play. It's going to be against Salem this time. Personal foul against Salem. And that's going to help.
That's going to help.
Classical.
And Perone Ken Perone saying something to his kids, so Perone knows it was a penalty which was worth calling.
All the way down to the Salem 41-yard line. A big break for the Rams here. 1st and 10 from the Salem 41-yard line. 4 minutes to play in the football game. 7-0. The Witches on top. The pitch.
Oh,
He can't find the football. Salem has it.
Resendez right here. You watch a low pitch, low in front of him. Just an errant pitch that time. Salem dodges a bullet with that penalty, and they recover the fumble.
What a tough break for the Rams.
Oh boy.
And a big break for the Witches.
Dempsey's still keeping his composure. I can't believe it.
With time running out, if Salem can control the football, they'll be the team to go 7-0.
This isn't over yet, John.
Toops loses back to the 49-yard line. Glasgow came up with the football, but they're not going to give it to him.
Not over by any stretch of the imagination. Not too many people leaving Bertram Field today either.
We got a timeout called by Classical. They lost back to midfield. A loss of 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 13. And now all Classical can do is try to stick it to them early.
Yep.
Shut them down. Maybe call their timeouts now and try to get the ball back and try to score.
Force the punt or force a turnover.
Mike Mello with a big football game for Salem. The big interception. Had another one, but was taken away because of a penalty. And then come up with no play any bigger than he's made this year than this one right here. He made a big play against Peabody. But that was non-conference. This one is in the conference, 6-0 both teams. And Mello makes the big recovery as he outfought Resendez for the football.
I'm not sure what's going on here. We got people booing, you got people talking to each other. I'm not sure what's going on, John.
I think it was just some of the, they had Zagorowski out on the field. And I think the stands thought that Zagorowski was going to be the quarterback.
I'm not sure what that was.
So it's going to be 2nd down and 13 as we're getting ready for play to get back in. 3:39 showing on the scoreboard clock. Again, Classical blitzing, and again they get in. Good penetration. Putman trying to get loose, not going to get there, gets knocked down. We get flags, and that's going to be against Salem, I think.
Oh my God. That's going to be another penalty on Salem, I think, John. That's bad. Clipping. Another clipping call on Salem.
And that really hurts.
Oh, big time. Big time.
That's from the point of foul, too, which is back about the 42, and that's going to move them way back.
To the 30-yard line, John, or 32-yard line. Well, no,
it might move him. It might move him back to the 27.
The flag is right at the 45, John. The flag is at the 45.
The players were in the backfield around the 42-yard line. From here, it would move him back to the 30-yard line.
That's right. Now, here's the question now, John. They stopped Salem for a loss.
Dave Dempsey saying take the penalty.
Yeah,
before you ask the question.
Okay.
I knew what you were going to say.
And that was my question. Do you want to take the down, which would make it 3rd down, right?
Sure.
Okay. Hey, he wants that. Again,
well, he's thinking
makes
now.
Sense.
I think what he's thinking now, Bip, is Salem's not going to put the ball in the air, I don't think.
No.
Especially from here. He's blitzing everybody, trying to stuff them and call a quick timeout. And he's thinking if they're going to punt from deeper in their end zone, in their territory, excuse me.
That's right.
And Glasgow could get better field position.
And also, if they force a turnover of any type down here, John, he's got the ball down the 30-yard line.
Absolutely. The stat guy, Potvin is the deep man. Everybody in tight. The pitch.
Pass. This is a pass.
Potvin dumps it to Toops. Loses the football. Glasgow's got the football. The razzle-dazzle doesn't pay off.
Whoa.
Kenny Perone is all the way out in the field, and he's got to be careful he doesn't get a penalty.
Well, he's saying it wasn't a reception. What Kenny's saying, I think, is that the Toops did not have possession of the ball.
I think he definitely caught the football. I think it's a good call.
I think what Kenny's saying, you see Kenny there talking to the official, that Toops did not have possession of the ball. If we can see it again, here it is right here.
Come here.
Gives it to Potvin. Potvin looks downfield. Now he sees Toops. Oh, positively had possession of that ball. That's a fumble.
69 recover the football.
And like I said,
and that's Stephen Foster.
Oh, John. That's why Dave Dempsey took that penalty.
The Mississippi Gambler put the ball in the air, and Glasgow now has it at the Witches' 23-yard line. 3 minutes straight up to play in the football game. Resendez in motion. The pitch to Thornton. Straight ahead, a big hole across the 15, down to about the 14, maybe for a first down.
Oh boy, I'll tell you. They've got all cylinders going right now, John. They got the momentum. They picked up the turnover right there. We see it right here. Watch this. Bingo, he's going full stride right here. Full stride.
Well, the line's probably saying one good big surge now, and they're back in the football game.
That's right. Oh,
and all of a
yeah.
sudden, the complexion changes. Salem recovered that big fumble. A couple of first downs, the game is over. Instead, now they find themselves with their back to the wall. Classical at the 14-yard line. Second down and a yard from the 14-yard line. The eye, now they break out of it. Boyd, the tight end, to the near side. Thornton and Clark to the near side. Thornton in motion. Echeverria with the keep. Gets away. Trying to throw the football. Lets it fly. He's got Joffrey Boyd complete.
You know, there's got to be a
Nobody
lineman
downfield either.
No, there's not.
The big play from Echeverria to Joffrey Boyd gives him a first down, and we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Wait a minute, excuse me, we're going to show the replay before we go.
Look at that. Echeverria gets in all sorts of trouble. Goes back to his right, John. Sees Boyd. Look at, he sees Boyd downfield. Throws it up. Nice play. Nice play.
And the ball is down at the 8-yard line, and Salem calls a timeout. We'll be right back. 2:40 showing on the scoreboard clock. 7-0 the Witches, as Classical is trying to punch it home. James Resendez is the deep man in the eye. The give to Arthur Brown off the left side.
He's got it,
for the
John.
touchdown.
Right, good.
I think Salem was looking for Resendez. McLean, affectionately known as Magic, M-A-J-K.
Here's a touchdown, John, right here.
Big hole
Great
off the
job by
Classical left
Arthur Brown.
side. And now you go for two. The question is, what play do you run?
All comes down to this. Look at Dempsey. Dempsey might have wanted something else. He's taking Brown out now. All comes down to this, an afternoon of football.
Here's Joffrey Boyd in the backfield. Along with Thornton, Resendez is the wingback. The game on the line right here. Fakes it to Joffrey Boyd.
Wide open.
All alone in the end zone.
Wide
Fialo.
My
A great
goodness.
call. And Joffrey Boyd played it to perfection, Bippy.
did.
He dove in the end zone like he had the
did.
football. And Fialo just slipped out. Echeverria hit him between the 8 and the 9, and it's 8-7. Classical on top.
Now the thing is, I'll tell you, there's nobody close to him. But you got 2 minutes and 31 seconds. All sorts of time left. All sorts of time left.
Here's the replay. And
oh my goodness.
here's the case where he was all alone, and all he probably said to himself is, please don't let me drop this one.
That's right. That's right.
He couldn't have been any more all alone. They ran it, a great fake by Echeverria and Boyd. Boyd carried it to perfection, diving in the air. Everybody went after Boyd, diving up the middle.
Wow.
And there was Fialo. And that's a pretty good pick from Saugus.
There you go.
A transfer from Saugus.
He transferred in? I didn't know that, John.
A pretty good basketball player last year as well. So now the tide turns as Classical has been shut down all day, and a big break. And
wow.
The problem with this is Kenny Perone has been a great coach over many, many years. 200 wins. You don't get that way without being the best in what you do.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately, he's going to take a lot of heat for that pass play when he was down deep in his territory. And people are going to say, if we run it out, they don't get a shot. And I think that could be the sad point, because he's too good a coach. People at Salem here have seen him do these trick plays many times and win a lot of games.
Sure.
Games he wasn't supposed to win. And he's done it many, many times. And he's done it by throwing away the book and doing it his way.
Oh, sure. And I don't pay any attention to those people that second guessing. They're not out there every single day with these kids, and they're not football coaches. So that means absolutely nothing to me, John. Ken Throne's a great football coach.
I agree.
Always
I
has
agree.
been, always will be.
I agree, but I want to get it out before everybody else did it.
Well, then let him talk.
And kind of take the heat off Kenny, because I think he does just a fantastic job.
Absolutely.
As does Dave Dempsey. And this has just been, they certainly got their money's worth. Joffrey Boyd.
Classical's at 9 people in the field, John. 9.
No, they have 11. Rosenda just snuck on from the sideline. A little pooch kick.
Whoa.
And they didn't drill it downfield, Bip. Are you surprised at that?
A little bit, yes. Now Salem's going to go into the hurry-up offense, I believe. Little 2-minute drill from Salem. I've seen it happen before. I saw it over here when Billy Hamer brought a football team, Beverly High School football team over here Thanksgiving Day. Salem had less than a minute, came back and won it.
Wide receivers to the near side. Joey Toop's going to put it up. Under pressure, lets it fly. Incomplete.
That's right.
Shot hop by Jeremy Potvin. It's incomplete. And Toops took a hit.
Yeah, that hit the ground. Toops looked deep first. You see it right here. Toops looking deep. He'll sprint to his right a bit. You see Potvin just kind of lazily in there. Then Toops looked for him and hit the ground. Second down.
2nd and 10 from the 32-yard line. Nothing strange here, Bip. Everybody knows they're going to put it up in the air. Nobody behind Joey Toops. 4 receivers to the near side. Toops rolling down. Looking, lets it go downfield, looking for Dakotas. Joffrey Boyd with the interception.
That could be the game right there.
Joffrey Boyd with a great play on defense. He went back, leaped as high as he could, and took the ball away from Dakotas.
Look at that. See Echeverria and Boyd. And now we see a lot of the people leaving the stadium, but I'll tell you, what a comeback by Lynn Classical. 2 minutes and 11 seconds left. Still a lot of time, John, but
well, we thought the game was over when Mellor recovered the fumble.
Yep.
Seemed like ages ago.
Yep.
And
there you go. There you go. There's the interception.
What a great play by Joffrey Boyd.
Yep. Good things happen to good ball players and good teams.
At the 43-yard line, the Rams have it. 1st and 10. And this is Arthur Brown bullying his way across the 45 out to about the 48-yard line with a little help from his friends.
And they're going to, Classical's just simply going to keep the ball on the ground now. Force Salem to lose his timeout.
We'll have a stoppage at the 2-minute mark. We'll stop the clock. I'm not sure. We haven't got a signal about how many timeouts Salem has left.
The clock says 150. I think it's 2 minutes.
The clock says 1:49.
John, and you see,
they're telling the clock. They're telling Salem exactly how much time is left. Obviously, we can't hear them. That's Echeverria, and that was a change they made up. They had Simi Anderson playing deep, and they put the senior back there. Echeverria playing safety, making a change up. And Echeverria made a big defensive play in the end zone, tipping a pass away after they made that change.
That's right. You see a lot of people leaving now, John.
Well, they're leaving the stands and hanging out around the refreshment stand and the end of the stands. They want to make sure they look, because this game's been over 3 or 4 times and it's still not over. 2nd and about 6. The give to Brown again. Piled up at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
Oh, now Salem can hold them again. They are going to get the ball back, John. And there's always the possibility to go after the punt if they can hold them on 3rd.
I'm not sure if they have any timeouts left, because if they have, I certainly would be using them. But
yeah, they're not calling them.
Unless they have one left, they want to shut it down after this play. But rather than guess, we'll just watch along with you at home and see what happens.
Minute 22, John.
It's at the 47-yard line. 3rd and 6. Echeverria rolling to his right.
Throw it.
Fakes throwing the football. Steps up. Lifted up in the air by Carroll. Chris Carroll just lifted Echeverria in the air and dropped them down
Now
at
it's
the
fourth.
Salem 49-yard line. Fourth and a long 2. What do you do?
Well, and you got 45 seconds left, John. Salem's got to be out of timeouts.
Yeah, the clock is running.
Out of timeouts.
So if I was Classical, I might just run the football. Take a 5-yard penalty, maybe, Pip, and run a play.
Well, possibly.
There's only 25 seconds left. Now Echeverria calls a timeout with 25 seconds left.
Well, if Salem does get the ball back, now they're going to decide now what they're going to do. They're not going to take a chance in the punt, I think. I don't think Dempsey's going to take a chance and get
No, you don't worry about a
punt
snap.
block.
You don't want to have a bad snap, those kind of things. So I think they'll run a play and
take a shot at making the first down, number one.
yeah, I would say that's the first criteria. If they make the first down, the game is over.
Yep.
If they don't, it's going to give Salem 1, possibly 2 plays.
Tops. Tops. 2 plays tops.
40 seconds.
They're winding.
40.
The clock ran down to 23. The official, I think, Paul Hallen's telling us that the official said 40 seconds.
Which is a big difference here.
And that's a big difference, 40 seconds. Now you have the potential for a couple of plays as well as some pass interference and things like that.
Sure.
But Bip, a good, entertaining dollar for people
great.
who came over to Bertram Field here on Saturday afternoon.
Oh, absolutely. They got what they came for. They got a great high school football game. Two evenly matched football teams.
And I'll tell you too, Bip, I think Dave Dempsey hit the nail right on the head, I should say. He said before this is a great football game, 2 undefeated teams. It's going to be a battle, but there's a lot of football left to play.
Oh, yeah.
And the Marbleheads and the Gloucesters and the Beverleys are going to have something to say about the rest of the season as well, along with the 2 teams you're looking at now. But it's good to get the big one out of the way. Joffrey Boyd is back to punt for Classical. Joey Toops is the lone man back.
No,
now they fake the punt. Joffrey Boyd, he gets to the outside. He's going to make a first down easily.
First down. He might make a touchdown,
He's got 1 man to beat for a touchdown. Joey Toops makes the tackle at the 11-yard line. That's going to be the ball game.
Oh, boy.
Joffrey Boyd has come up awful big in this football game.
I didn't think he was going to punt, not for 1 minute. And you see now the Classical players congratulating us. Thornton there, there's Boyd.
If he slowed down, he had Lex Thornton blocking for him. And he could have taken it in.
Doesn't matter what he does right now. Here, watch this. He's not kicking. No way. That speed to the outside. Look at this. Speed to the outside. Joey Toops,
the lone man. Joey Toops, good open field tackle.
That'll do it.
But too little, too late.
Yep, that'll do it.
They'll run 1 play and the game will be history. And Classical is going to go 7-0.
It's like
Echeverria steps back, falls down, hit by Mike Meller. And we have a football thrown, and you don't want to see this.
No.
You don't want to see this.
No.
I don't think Mike Mello was intentionally trying to hurt anybody.
No, I don't either.
I don't think there was any problem there. The whistle was not blown. He just wanted to make sure that Echeverria was down.
That's right.
And obviously Echeverria wasn't hurt because he jumped right back up again. And they were trying to hold on. Dave Dempsey didn't like it. He just talked to Kenny Perrone. There's flags all over the place, but that's going to be against Classical, I believe.
That's bad. That's a bad ending to a real great football game. And what you can't have is the fans.
Like to see this.
You can't have the fans on the field. People that have nothing to do with the 2 football programs. Kenny Perrone might say, "That's it. Let's go home." Right now, that's it. The game is over.
What he's saying.
Let's go home.
Right now, that's it.
Take the kids off the field. No shaking hands. No nothing.
He's going to shake hands.
Kenny will. Well, he's got his kids going back. That's Kenny. He's a gentleman, true and true.
The game is going to run out.
That's Kenny.
And the game is going to be called at this point.
Good football
Classical down to their last breath. And it didn't look good after they fumbled the football away. Salem returned the favor after a big, in 2 instances, as you see the 2 coaches.
Yeah.
They're both good friends. They both have a great amount of respect for each other. But Bip, it's really strange. Classical got down close, and a big 15-yard penalty set them back. And you said a personal foul, and you looked and said this could be a problem with Classical as they shot themselves in the foot all afternoon. Then it was 2 plays. The 15-yard penalty against Salem after the fumble recovery to push them deep in their own territory.
Yep.
Then the big fumble recovery by Jones. And then Joffrey Boyd came up big as Echeverria who looked like he was caught in the backfield, made a great scramble, got the pass off. Boyd made the first down to the 8-yard line. It was Joffrey Boyd who made the big fake, if you will, on the extra point conversion.
Yep.
And Simon Fiala made the catch for the difference, 8-7. And then Joffrey Boyd came back, made a big interception at the end, and then ran out of punt formation for the big first down to ice it. But a great team win. Two excellent football teams in the field, I thought, Pip. And two teams that are still going to contend for the Northeast Conference Championship. Don't count the Salem team out either.
Don't count anybody out. Now you've got, like you mentioned, you have Marblehead, as we see Joffrey Boyd right there. What a super game in the clutch when it counted. But again, you've got this classical team which is still on the field. You have Salem with 1 loss. You have Marblehead with 1 loss, and you also have Gloucester with 1 loss in the conference. You got Beverly looming in the background with 2 losses. You know, I'll tell you, this league is just so evenly matched, and people saw what they came to see today. 2 super high school football teams. Right here. Here's the touch.
That's the touchdown by Glasgow. Arthur Brown going in.
That's right.
Breaking the scoreless 3 quarters, almost 4 quarters for Glasgow. That was late, as you see a good shot of Dave Dempsey getting congratulated by a lot of people. It was back in the second quarter. Glasgow tried a fake punt. It didn't work as Troops fielded it and got it back to the 38-yard line. From there, it took them 8 plays to get in. It was Carroll collecting the pass from Joey Troops from 4 yards away. Zebin Zagorowski kicked the extra point. It was 7-0. It stayed that way till very late. And then it was Stephen Foster recovering a fumble at the 23. 2 plays later, it was the fullback, Arthur Brown, going in off the left side from 8 yards out. Then the big 2-point conversion. There was no doubt in anybody's mind that Dave Dempsey would go for 2. Simon Fiala lined up at the tight end. They faked Joffrey Boyd in the middle. Simon Fiala was all by himself. Echeverria lobbed it in. And then late in the game, Joffrey Boyd with a big interception and a big run out of a fake punt situation for a first down to ice the football game. Glasgow goes 7-0. Salem drops to 6-1. And the Magic, and I spell that M-A-J-K, still goes on for the Lynn Classical football team.
And again, this game might have been, you can't take anything away, because with Silva going out for Salem, might have taken a turn. John, might have taken,
on defense.
But you cannot take it away from Classical. Salem did lots of good things. Classical did lots of good things. Like I said, I just like to leave it at we've seen a great high school football game.
Absolutely. Of course, we never even mentioned Joe Pakowski never got to play for Classical. He was operated on for a knee, and we wish him well. We hope he can get back maybe for Thanksgiving, but we wish him well anyway. So a great high school football game. As you see the little prayer session that they have, this is in honor of the 4 kids. We said Magic, Mike Farrar, Abel Marquez, Jorge Lebrun, and Ken McLean. And the first initials of the kids' names are M-A-J-K, Magic. And they pull it out, and they win the game 8-7 to stay undefeated in the Northeastern Conference. So for Bippy Manuel, I'm John Hoffman for TV3 Sports, saying we hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. And good night from Bertram Field in Salem. I've been his